All right, here's the hookup procedure. Just get that right over the ball and go and retract this. Watch that it goes directly on the ball and that the pin or the latch goes forward like that. When you're disconnecting, let me get some light. You can pull this back and hook this part right on there, and it'll hold that latch back. Make sure you don't have that pulled back when you're hooking up. And then once that's hooked, I just lift the trailer a little, make sure it's on. It'll start to lift the truck if it's done right. That's called a lift test. Once you got it hooked up, make sure your brake cable is latched onto. And then you can hook up your trailer connection in the back. The trailer connection cable is long enough to go over the top of the tailgate when it's closed, which is nice. And then I put this bolt in that latch. This will make sure that it does not have any chance of coming unlatched. And I double nut it, regular nut, and then a lock nut jammed onto the other one to prevent either one from moving. That's it, brakes, connection, and it's on the hitch. All right, once you're done hooking it up, you can finish retracting all the landing gear by pressing retract all, and you'll see them all come up. And I just walk around and double check all of them. There's 6. All right, so the keypad, the pin for it is just right there. I'll be putting a departure checklist together so that you can know all the things to check before you leave, like the awnings and everything like that. This is where the power cord and hose, some lawn chairs are kept. This is the hydraulics and battery. This is a generator. Those don't need to be open. Propane is in here, so if you run out of hot water or gas for the stove, you can change this tank. There's also a tank on the driver's side in the same spot, so 2 propane tanks. Here's your water hookup. This is where you would flush the black and gray tank. Don't ever leave the black tank open. Probably don't want to leave the gray tank open either, but I just flush the black tank once a day. This is just the front tank. I'll show you the rear tank. So I flush the black tank and then close it, open the gray tank to push all the black water out. And you never ever want to leave the black tank open because it will create what they call a poop pyramid. This is your city water fill up. This is actually the correct regulator for that. And if you're having a trouble regulating the water in the shower, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. This one goes on the hose, on the hose bib where you actually connect the hose to your hookups. This one stays here. So if you're having trouble regulating the water temperature, it's probably because the water pressure is too high. It'll fluctuate a lot, so you can actually dial this down and lower the pressure coming out of the hose bib. Just make sure that this is set to normal flow. Unless you're filling up the tank, then you set it to fill. Once it's full, it'll start spilling out, and that's when you know to turn it off. It'll spill out right back there. But for the most part, you should just be using normal flow. This is just the outside shower, and you don't have to worry about the tank flush. So you hook up your hose, the sewer hose, to here. This is a block off gate. So you flush the front tank black water. This black water, which is, well, I'm trying to think of it now. Where is it? Oh, right. Back here. Right up there. Kind of hard to see. But basically behind the back tire. And then the gray water for the back is right here in front of the tires. So black water, gray water, and then you can close this gate. You definitely want to have this gate closed when you're departing because there could be air pressure changes, and when you open this, it could explode in your face. So this keeps all that pressure until you have the hose hooked up, then you can open this. This is the gas for both the reserve tank, which has a gas pump on it. You can see that right here. Turn the pump on. And it's also the gas tank for the generator. This is your power hookup, 50 amp. Hose is in the front, or not hose, I'm sorry. Cord is in the front, like I showed you. Cameras. I can give you, I think the screen is actually in there for those. They're wireless cameras, so you can plug them into any truck. Ladder on the side. This is great for when you're departing, checking the tops of all the slides to make sure that there's not sticks and things like that, because they can really cause some damage. So you can get up here and take a look at the top of all the awnings and just make sure that there's not sticks or anything. All right, on the other side, again, propane, and then this is the same one as the front one that I showed. It's a full pass-through. It opens on the other side also. These are outdoor outlets or charging e-bikes or anything like that. Smart TV in there. This is where the sewer hose is, and also have a ton of gloves in there. Make sure you're always using gloves when you're emptying the tanks. This step is manual, so you actually do have to pull it and then flip this down. These just lift up and pull out. And the back door I will open in just a minute. All right, so for the fuel, it's the silver key. The front is the generator. This is for filling up toys and stuff. Here's the fuel pump. Turn the fuel pump on right there. Just make sure you turn it off. To open the back, there's a hatch, or not a hatch, a cord inside, so you actually don't need the key, but from the outside, you can use this. Is this the right key? Yes. This black Bauer key, and you have to, it's electric, so you have to hold the key turned while you pull. These things, pull these pins out, flip these down to have a flat patio, or you can pull it all the way down and load toys into it. If you want the flat patio, you can also put these cords back here. Oops, use the pin for it. Basically just put that cord back here and put this pin through. And when I'm closing it up, I put the cords on the inside of this gate, otherwise it'll get in the way of the door. These doors have screens and also glass. I'll show you that inside. This gate is for when you have the patio flat. You can pull this out, latches into these latches, into this, and creates a whole patio. And that is the little rope to unlock this door from the inside. When you're closing this up, basically you got to get in the middle and slam it pretty hard, and then pull on both sides. If you don't hear anything, that's good. If you hear jangle, that means that side's unlatched and you just got to open it back up and try again. There's an awning up there and also another camera. Awning here and awning up there. If you roll them all the way out, there's a strip of lights in there that are very helpful at night. This system controls basically everything inside. Passcode is just 4 zeros. These tanks are almost never accurate. But anyways, slides. You put the slides out here. It only does one at a time. The generator's here. Before you start it, you hold prime for maybe 10 seconds and then start. And then the start turns into stop once it's running. This fuel tank actually is accurate. Let's see. And then interior lights, exterior lights, security lights. Water pump, you won't need that if you're hooked up to city water, but if you're dry camping or if you're traveling and you need water, you can turn that on. Battery voltage, let's see, hitch. I'd prefer to do that from the outside. There's the awning lights. If you roll them all the way out, you can see those. And HVAC. There's a bedroom. There's 3 air conditioning units. You set the temp here. This obviously only works if you're plugged in or if the generator's running. Doesn't run off battery. Let me switch these back off. And that's really the only important stuff on there. Oh, the awnings, obviously. So awning lights here, front and rear. That's just the side ones. The back one is actually controlled back here. Which I should have turned the lights on. So the back awning is right here. Extend, retract. And this is also a light on the back patio. Here's the, both of these couches fold into beds very easily. You basically just roll this forward, flip this leg out, and then roll it down. That's it. And they come together. Let's see. This is the back glass patio doors. I'll show you those in a minute. This bed, you can... Actually, you have to have these things flat, but I will do that right now. This goes all the way up. There is a loft up there. It's a single bed, and that is the other bathroom, which I'll show in just a minute here. Okay, here's the back glass doors. You can unlatch this to open them. This glass, I can't do with one hand right now, but basically there's the latch here and here. You pull those together and slide the glass up. Here, let me try to do it. I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's on the bottom. You pull those two on the bottom together and slide the glass up. That's nice if you have the patio open and you don't want a whole bunch of heat coming in, or you can pull them down, you still have screens. They also, if you open them, you can pull this cord and then swing them out so that you have a full opening there. And just, if you're traveling, once you're departing, just put them all the way down, because they might come unlatched and just slam down and break. So here's a little table area, extra chairs, tie downs for bikes and stuff like that. This is the stairs for the back patio. That's very easy. It just has this notch that slips in to some pins out there. Ladder goes up to the loft. I always strap the TVs before departing. It's the other AC unit. There's also lights up there and extra lights for that top bed. They're blocked right now. Here's the other bathroom. It's a full bath. And full residential fridge, kitchen area. These things can go up in the skylights to block out heat. That's also what these are for. Just privacy and heat. You can pull these off. Same here. Definitely pull this one off if you're cooking on the stove. Got tons of storage. There's also tons of plastic bins in those storage things. Let me open these slides real quick. We'll do this. You want to open them until you hear the sound change. There's a little pitch change. Same thing with closing them. I'll let you hear that now. Alright, and then these buckles keep the couches from falling while you're driving. I just put them through here on this one, through here on this one. So let's see, pull this thing down. Well, I'm not going to pull it down right now, but basically this one latches on here. The chair with the armrest latches on to this one. There's a plug there, which plugs in to here for the heating and lights and vibrating thing. Don't worry about this one. Don't use the one with the yellow sticker at all. Just this one. Got lots of storage here too. Different things. These are great for hanging up towels and bathing suits and stuff. I just stick them on the front hitch. Let's see. There's lots and lots of storage over here. Keep these things strapped for departure. Try to keep everything strapped. TV, fireplace, sound system. This couch folds out. Just pull these off. And flip this thing out. So this is very difficult with one hand. So, and then this folds down. There's the bed. All right. This couch, we've got a broom, vacuum, step stool, The vacuum, though, probably won't need. I like to sweep everything into this central vacuum system, and when you lift this port, when it's plugged in, it will automatically turn on a vacuum, sweep everything into there. You can empty it right here. This is where the bag is, right there. So there's also one of those in the main bath. So if you're on the top, top of the stairs, you sweep everything into here, open this, it'll automatically turn on and suck it all up. This happy camper stuff, we have a new, after you flush the black tanks, you can put about a gallon of water in there just by flushing for a while, foot flush. And put a scoop of that in there. It'll keep everything from stinking. Here's the main shower. When you're traveling, you want to make sure that's latched and that there's nothing really in these baskets. I just put them all on the floor there. You just want to make sure all these doors are latched. Oh, that's not latched. And I'll open this slide to show the main bedroom. All right, here's the main bed. We've replaced the RV king size, which is not a king at all, with a real queen. It's a very nice bed to sleep on, but because it's so much bigger, it does make the side spaces very tight, a little hard to get through, but I think it's totally worth it for a good night's sleep. There's some lights up there, push button lights. Those windows have shades, another AC, TV. This window you just pull down to go up or down. We do have a connection for a Wi-Fi router. If you have like an Orbi router, that's what I use. I will put the remotes in here. Any outlets that have this yellow sticker will work off the solar, so you don't need to be plugged in for that. This one pulls open. This one slides open. There's a washer dryer combo. It's great for small stuff, bathing suits and stuff like that. Bed sheets, it's not good at all for that. It will take probably 2 or 3 hours to dry those, maybe even more than that. So if you're at a campsite, I really recommend using their washer and dryers for bed sheets or even towels. But this is great for clothes. Just lots of storage in here. And again, I make sure that these are latched just when traveling. Same here. Another closet. Got a little side storage down here, as well as phone charger USB outlets on both sides there. This controls the water temperature. It's as simple as that. If you want to set it, you just press up or down. That's it. Should have some extra toilet paper there. Lysol wipes. This thing, just turn on that fan and open this up. Let's see what else. Is that it in here? Yeah, I guess so. Alright, back to the kitchen. These things come out very easily. This is usually where we keep the step stool, actually. I'll move that there. Just a cutting board, towels, silverware, cheese graters, and stuff like that. We leave pans and pots and toaster and another cutting board, stuff that you'll need in there. These also work off solar, so I mean, my kids charge their iPads while we're traveling and stuff. More storage. We got paper plates, stainless steel plates and bowls, cups. Let's see. More storage. Here is the TV screen for all the cameras. It's very simple to use. You just plug it into your cigarette lighter. Key hook, which I will put the trailer keys on. And speaking of the keys, nope, I'm sorry, that's the wrong keys. This key So we changed out the front lock on this. It's a digital lock. I'll give you the code. But this remote also locks and unlocks it. And then there's also this key for the door. So you really don't need this bundle of keys. You just type in the code to get in and out. So I usually just leave these up here, and I really only use the keys when I'm doing the sewer line to open that thing. More storage up here. These things just go into this little pinhole in the couch, and then you have a table. You can sit down and have your food on there. These are little child protective knobs on here. You just pinch this part to open them. Use the knob. You can also just pull them off if you want. Just pull the knob out completely. Put the knob back on. To turn this thing on, you just push it in and turn it just a little to that pilot. Hold that and then push the starter button. You do have to hold it for a couple seconds before you push that. More storage above the fridge, extra paper towels and stuff. And that, oh, you know what? If you have toys back here that are gas powered, these are real nice. So you pinch this, slide the front one out so that the air gets sucked into here, and then you can turn this one backwards. So basically the air gets pulled in and then pushed out, so this place doesn't fill up with gas fumes. So here's another door you do want to make sure is latched before departing. Also the bathroom door. Glass door is very important. Fridge, latch that. And then basically before departing, I empty the black and gray water tanks. Black first, then gray flushes it out. Make sure they're closed. You know, I raise the beds back there. Load all of our toys and bicycles and stuff. Make sure the back ramp legs are in if you had it in the patio setting. Hook up the truck. Raise the truck with the trailer, just the pull test on that, or lift test. Make sure it's all plugged in. Brake cables latched. Shower is latched. Closets are latched. All the shampoo and soap on the bathroom floor or the shower floor. Glass door latched. Latch the fridge. Turn off any fuel on any toys that you have in the back. Put the slides in. Awnings in, very important. A lot of people miss awnings because you just don't look up. We've had a close call with that. Make sure the leveler legs are up. You know, disconnect the power and the water hose and put those away. The stairs are up. The stair handles are in. And then I just, once again, double check the truck connection. Here's the stair handles. You just pull up and put them in once the door's closed. And that's pretty much the whole checklist. And again, when you're disconnecting, I have that thing pulled back so that the latch is fully open. And then on here, I always do this in manual mode so that if anything goes wrong, I can just let off the button and it will immediately stop. See, it's, you have extend landing gear, but that's automatic. So I go options, modes, manual, and then choose the front. And then I manually extend it so that if I need to stop, I just let off and it stops. And that is basically it. There is a auto level on here. Don't do that till your truck's out of the way because it lowers, it lifts. Make sure no kids are near it. It moves all around while it's auto leveling. And then once that's done, that's when I pull the stairs down, and then you can enter the trailer. I should have mentioned this before, but these stairs, this is how you open them right here, this blue handle. But you can change the height of them because if they're too high, the door will not close. So you've got to adjust the height pretty much every time you park, and you just push these pins. Here, I'll bring it down. basically I just let it down, and then you just push this thing on the side in, and then these legs go in and out. It's very simple to adjust. But yeah, if the door's not closing, it's probably because the stairs are too high. So this gooseneck hitch has built-in air ride. These are air shocks, and you can fill them up right here. I put them to about 30 psi. That's right in the middle of the range that they recommend. But when it's hooked up, you can look in here, and basically you should be able to see the bolt that's in there. I believe it's a bolt. But yeah, I just put it to 30 psi. The biggest tips I can give on this, I'm driving it, is turn very, very late. This turn right here is about 30 feet wide at the apex, and basically I would take my truck all the way there, completely straight, and then turn at the last second, basically a right angle, and even then the tires of the trailer are probably going to end up 30 feet apart from where the truck was. It's not great for single lane roads. I try to always stick to highways. It's very nice on the highways, but it is not fun to drive on the streets. You really want to watch for low hanging trees, and because of the height, I really recommend an app called either Trucker Path, they have a free trial, or RV Life, and they will give you, you can put in your height, and it will tell you roads to go on to stick to that height, which I want to say the height's like 14'5", I believe. I will find that out and let you know when you pick it up. Just looked it up. The height is 13'5".